Hello, Lori Michelle here with a hat trick. Rabbi Yaron Reuven, you're up. You're my third rabbi that I'm critiquing. And there are no accidents in this world. And I know Hashem led me to your video and why you're the subject of today's Chinks in the Armor, where I'm going to reveal your weaknesses. Like it or not, Hashem chose you. But I was laughing out loud, falling off my chair, when I saw that you were pictured online, in fact, did an event recently with the other two rabbis I've already critiqued. Lona Nava, who I adore, Rabbi Nava. I did him first, but he wasn't part of the Chinks in the Armor series. I critiqued some videos that he had done previously and gave him my commentary before Yom Kippur. The first Chinks in the Armor was Rabbi Yosef Mizrahi, and you're the second one, but you're the third rabbi that I'm making commentary on and using as an example of where we're going wrong and how we have to come together, learn Torah, and get it right. And so here I am. You've probably never heard of me, or maybe you have, and you've poo-pooed me and said disparaging things about me, as many people do. But like it or not, I'm Moshiach. And while that makes your stomach do flips and makes you want to vomit, and you don't like it, I'm here to tell you, I like it less than you. I don't want to be Moshiach, but I am Moshiach. And what makes me Moshiach is Hashem is right here, and he's orchestrating all of this, and he chose you for today's Chinks in the Armor, revealing your weaknesses, where you're going wrong. And I just want to show you, I'm going to share my screen with you, Rabbi Reuven. I'm going to hit share. This is what I came across, and I thought, wow, it's a hat trick, Hashem. I'm a hockey fan. I'm a New York Rangers hockey fan. Lots of Orthodox Jews love the New York Rangers. I used to go to the hockey games and sit in the blue section and see all the Orthodox Jews with their kippas, with New York Rangers embroidered into their kippas. So this one's for all the New York Ranger fans. And this is my rabbi hat trick. I couldn't avoid the analogy and the fun. This is not fun for me, by the way, Rabbi Reuven. What I'm about to show you is very painful for me. I know this will be painful for you too, but I'm not doing this to harm you. I'm doing this to peel your eyes open, whether you believe I'm Mashiach or not. I'm going to show you some things that you're doing, that you said online, that are sinful. So without further ado, let's continue. I came across this video, Kosher Rabbi versus Erev Rav. And I'm going to play the first couple of minutes, and then I'm going to tell you what I see in this video.
Yesterday, I don't know if any of you guys heard of this kofel. He calls himself the Rabbi of America. His name is Shmuley Boteach. Shmuley Boteach is unfortunately, calls himself a Chabadnik. I don't really think Chabad really associates with him. But he has actually been a problem for Am Yisrael for quite some time. He wrote a book some years ago because he wants to make money. He wrote a book called Kosher Jesus. Kosher Jesus. Kosher Avodah Zarah. Then, a year ago, he wrote a book with one of the biggest sonot in the history of mankind, a woman named Pamela. One of the women that caused more men to sin than probably anybody else in the last century. He wrote a book with her. About what? About sex. A rabbi. So if that's not bad enough, yesterday, he goes on camera, records himself. He likes to record himself. With all the millions that he has, apparently he can't find anybody that's going to be his cameraman. And he records himself rebuking the head of education in Eretz Yisrael that says that people that are homosexual but yet want to maintain a Torah lifestyle need to go to counseling, need to help themselves. You cannot be a kosher Jew and homosexual at the same time. You cannot be a good husband and a wife beater at the same time. It's not possible. You cannot be a good Jew and be an enemy of Hashem at the same time. It's not possible. Hashem says that people that perform homosexuality are considered disgusting in the eyes of Hashem. So you cannot say, I have performed homosexuality, not just had the feelings, desires. Actually, exercise the feelings and desires and think that you're a kosher Jew. It's not possible. Why? Hashem says it's considered an abomination. Abomination means disgusting to Hashem. So how many of you want to go home and see one of your parents say, oh, hi, son, you're disgusting? Who wants that? Hey, son, you're disgusting. Who wants this? Hey, honey, how are you? Yeah, you're disgusting, honey. Who wants this? Nobody wants this. Why? Nobody wants to be disgusting. Well, guess what? Somebody performs homosexuality. That's what HaKadosh Baruch Hu is saying. Son, you're disgusting.
There's so much in here that I could tell you. I could go second by second. I didn't really even want to play this much of your video, but I'm going to stop share and I'm going to give you maybe a half a dozen points, maybe more, maybe less. But I could rip this to shreds, Rabbi Reuven, and I'm about to rip it to shreds for you. Where do I begin? It's replete with Lashon Hara. It's replete with evil speech. Do you speak things that are true from Torah? Yes, but strewn into your commentary about what's in the Torah regarding homosexuality, you sin profusely throughout this short 2.5 minute clip of a longer video. I don't have very good eyesight anymore. I'm deaf, by the way, and now, being an old woman, my eyes are going. So let's start with the first thing here. Because he wants to make money, he wrote a book called Kosher Jesus. Because he wants to make money is mockery, is putting him down, because you're insinuating that he's all about the money. He might be about the money, but you're judging him and you're mocking him because he wants to make money. You don't like the book entitled Kosher Jesus. Obviously, I have not read the book. I'm not critiquing Shmuley Boteach here per se. I am showing you the chinks in your armor as you are out in public defending the Torah, which, by the way, needs no defense. For you to be angry at Shmuley Boteach because you feel that he is stating something against Torah is incorrect. You're using your energy and your voice incorrectly. Why get angry with him? The Torah and Hashem needs no defense. The Torah is the Torah. It's Hashem's Torah. It's not a personal attack for you. It should not be a personal attack against Shmuley Boteach because you're angry with him for stating something against the Torah. You're making it about yourself. The second thing I have written down is you said Pamela Anderson caused more men to sin in the last half century than any other woman. I'm paraphrasing. I didn't write word for word what you said, but you said something very similar to that. You're accusing a woman who's non-Jewish of breaking Torah law and luring men to sin. I'm going to address that in a moment, but I'm going to state simply that it is not Pamela Anderson's responsibility to ensure that you or any other man does not sin. It is your responsibility. She cannot lure you and trick you and make you sin. You are responsible for your own behavior, not her. The third thing I wrote down was, he likes to record himself about Shmuley Boteach. You're calling him an egomaniac that likes to record himself. You're mocking him. With all his millions, he has apparently, excuse me, I'm reading it wrong. With all his millions, you said, that he has, apparently he can't afford a cameraman. Why'd you say that? Why are you mocking him? How do you know he has so many millions in the first place? Are you privy to what's in his bank account? And why does that anger you that he might have millions? It's none of your business. Homosexuality is considered disgusting in the eyes of Hashem. This is an extrapolation and conjecture on your part. It says in the Torah that homosexuality, that two men lying down with each other, is forbidden because it is an abomination, and you extrapolate that another word for abomination is disgusting. Being disgusting isn't a motivation to keep or not keep a sin. Of course you want to please Hashem, but in your eyes, homosexuality is clearly disgusting. In the eyes of a homosexual that can't control that inclination any more than a heterosexual man can't control himself when he looks at Pamela Anderson, would think that you and your wife are disgusting. So that shouldn't be a motivation that someone finds homosexuality disgusting. But you would argue, but I'm talking about Hashem. What are you, stupid? I can just imagine what you're saying about me right now. But I'm here to tell you, I am Moshiach, and I spoke in great detail with Hashem about homosexuality and why he has that law, that it is forbidden against Torah to be a homosexual. It's true. And the reasons are in my book, Blindsided by Messiah, available on Amazon. There's a reason why. And the reason why isn't because Hashem finds homosexuality disgusting and homosexuals disgusting. It is because it is unhealthy and a horrific choice for any person to make, because it harms the homosexual. Hashem loves all his children. All his children sin in some way. So Shmuley Boteach wasn't exactly incorrect. It's one mitzvah that they're sinning. It's true. It's a horrific sin. If you read my book, you will see it is truly a horrific sin that will exclude people from the world to come. But right now, Rabbi Reuven, there is no world to come. There is no world redemption right now. And you might say, oh, you stupid woman. Of course there's a world to come, but no. Right now, in this moment, in November of 2019, there's no world to come. There's no future. We're going to perish. In order for there to be a world to come, we must learn all of God's laws, come together in loving kindness and compassion, and teach Torah, and teach homosexuals what the pitfalls are and why it is against God's laws to be homosexual. It isn't for us to say that they're disgusting. They equally find heterosexuals disgusting, truly. And you're making your yeshiva boys laugh at their expense. The yeshiva boys were laughing as you were mocking the the homosexuals. And you're mocking Pamela Anderson. Why were you mocking her? Is it fair game because she's not Jewish and she doesn't observe Torah law? So she's fair game. Call her a whore. She's a mom, by the way. She has children. And the book that you're disparaging, that she combined her efforts with Shmuley Boteach to write about sex, I didn't read it. I don't know what it's about, but I saw a small clip of a video where she spoke online about her life, about her regrets, about posing naked in public, about allowing herself to be used as a sex object, about how men abused her sexually, beat her. She had silverware. In one clip I saw, she said one of her former husbands abused her, threw things at her. She was an abused woman. And you're abusing her by speaking out online, teaching Torah to the world, to the yeshiva boys who are laughing at homosexuals. Ha ha ha, they're disgusting. I have homosexual friends that I love. Shmuley Boteach, the reason why he was online speaking that way was because evidently he has people in his life who are homosexual that he loves. It came from a place of love and compassion. Was it a sin for him to say it's okay? Hashem says yes, but his sin was an unintentional sin, meaning he didn't intend to inflame Hashem or lead anyone astray. His heart was broken for his homosexual brothers and sisters, maybe his own children. I don't know the man, and I don't know who's in his life that's homosexual. He has great compassion and love for all people. That's what he was saying. Was he sinning? Yeah, but you were sinning too. You were speaking evil about him, mocking his money, mocking that he's not really a rabbi, mocking Pamela Anderson as though she's a two-bit whore. This is not rabbi behavior. This is not the work of a lofty, knowledgeable rabbi. And you said something later in your video, which I didn't show. You said there are university rabbis who know the book. They study, they know all the laws, but they don't live the Torah. It was a very good comment, but that's what you're doing. You're being a university rabbi who's talking out of both sides of his mouth. On the one hand, you're saying Pamela Anderson was responsible for heterosexual men to sin. On the other side of your mouth, you're saying homosexuals aren't born that way. They must choose the right thing, and they must choose against their inclination, and it is a sin. It is their sin. So which is it, Rabbi? Is it Pamela Anderson's sin when a man looks at her and then goes and cheats on his wife? Is it a homosexual sin when they can't control that inclination and they fall in love with someone of the same sex? Which is it? You're talking out of both sides of your mouth. You're very confusing, and we cannot afford to be confusing now. You might know all the books, Gemara, the Chumash, the Zohar. I'm sure you're very smart. You said a lot of very smart things, but strewn in from your intellect, in between your intellect and the correct things that you were saying, you were using your opinion, your hostility for someone who has more money than you, more status in America, the rabbi of America. Jealousy, isn't that a sin? Hashem says, oh yes, that is. So what I'm doing here, showing your chinks in the armor, is very difficult. And I know you are motivated to protect God's Torah and to be a spokesperson for correct observance of God's laws. And it incenses you when someone doesn't do it correctly. And you're going to call them out and you're going to tell them so. But Hashem says you're not capable of doing that. He said no one's capable of really doing that without slipping, falling, and committing the horrible and hideous sin of Lashon Hara. Everyone is capable of falling to Lashon Hara except for me, Moshiach. I don't have a personal vendetta against you or any person. I don't dislike anyone because they sin. And I don't believe that Shmuley, Boteach, has the ability to throw the Torah in the toilet, as you said. But I believe that every person has the ability to choose wrong and jump into that toilet and jump into that cesspool that we see all over the world and play with the duty. It's time to stop jumping in the cesspool. And I'm giving you a lifeline, a life preserver. I'm trying desperately to open your eyes and see you're playing with a loaded revolver. You're cutting yourself off from the world to come, the very world that you say Shmuley Boteach is cutting himself off from, and that homosexuals are cut off from. You're doing the wrong thing, saying the wrong thing, and this is for your good. This hurts me right now more than it hurts you, because you're likely to reject every single word that I'm saying, because I didn't go to the university. I didn't go to yeshiva. I'm not even a man. But I'll tell you something that I do that none of the rabbis do in all the world. I speak to Hashem. I live with him. I walk with him. I talk with him. And he says, I live the Torah in every single moment because I'm incapable of choosing Yetzer Hara. I'm absolutely impervious to it. That's in my book also. And you may not believe that, and you may not believe one word I'm saying, but for your benefit, watch this video again and again, and watch your video again and again, and look for Lashon Hara galore. I hope you're honored. You're number 3. That's a wild blessing. You are blessed. You're on Hashem's radar. That's a blessing. I know you think I'm a curse, but I'm really Moshiach, and I hope after seeing this video, you'll be curious enough to purchase this book. Hashem says this book is the Torah Part 2, down-to-earth learning and lessons that we need right now in order for the world to come. God bless you. I pray for your well-being and for you to be welcomed in Hashem's world to come. God bless you, Rabbi Reuven.